Welcome to Complete with DLC, the only show no longer making any single-player games. I'm one of your hosts, Griffin, and sitting across from me is MLG's own Brad Knight. Brad, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I got a cup of coffee in my hand. I got a mic in front of me, so usual day.
It's freezing right now.
Is it? I think it's pretty nice. Oh, I mean, minus the rain, it's pretty nice.
I mean, in my house right now it's freezing. I don't know why. See, the thing is my mom has shut off the heat from the winter because obviously it was getting warmer out. And then all of a sudden this like cold front came through, and now my house just like traps cold air in.
You live in a freezer.
Pretty much. That's essentially what I live in. And so now I'm just stuck here in this frozen tundra of a house.
But at least you have some, awesome games to keep you company.
That is true. And why don't we talk about those awesome games in What We're Playing? Would you like that announcer voice for that?
Yeah, it was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie.
Alright, Brad, what have you been playing this week?
This week, and I think you share it, I've been playing Overwatch.
I have been playing Overwatch as well, this morning at least. Because
Yeah.
you got into the closed beta, didn't you?
I did get into the closed beta, and if you had pre-ordered the game before April 29th or something, you got into this open beta on the 3rd. Everybody else got in late on the 4th. So.
No, on the 5th. It opened today, technically. I downloaded it. I started downloading it last night at midnight, though. So.
Oh, I was able to play yesterday. Yesterday around 7.
Oh, I've tried to do it yesterday around 7, and it told me that, it was only in the bundle or something like that for, it was like the Origins edition or something like that. Or it came if you bought the game, I guess you got into it early, but
yeah.
Me, I had to wait until midnight on March 5th to play it. Well, I didn't play it at then, that's when I downloaded it. Whatever.
So, what platform are you playing it on?
Xbox One.
How does it play with a controller? I haven't tried that yet.
Plays really well with a controller. What are you playing on PC?
I'm playing on PC, yeah.
Yeah. How's mouse and keyboard?
I don't mind it actually. It's usually I don't like anything with a shooter, like a shooting mechanic with a mouse and keyboard. But this is very Team Fortress like, so it doesn't really bug me.
It's just a lot of clicking.
Yeah. But I'm having a blast with it.
Yeah. What character do you like the best?
Right now I'm playing a lot of Junkrat and a lot of Diva.
Right. I've only played like a couple matches because, like I said, I only played this morning. But I got to play as Tracer, Winston, and Genji. I think his name is Genji. He's like the robot ninja guy who throws the stars.
Yeah.
And he's my favorite. I went into this game saying Winston's going to be my favorite, obviously, because he's a giant gorilla.
Yeah.
And while I like Winston, he's not the best.
He's alright. He's not a...
I don't like his lightning gun thing that he has.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're doing much.
No, it doesn't. But when you throw ninja stars at people and then you kill them, it feels great.
Yeah, Genji is a badass. He's tough to play, but if you learn how to do it well, he's such a good character.
It was so weird because, like we talk about on the show a lot, I'm terrible at video games. But the second I played as Genji, I just something just clicked. Wow, you just dropped something.
Yeah, that would be my coffee cup.
Oh, geez, did you have coffee in it?
Yes.
Was it open?
Do you have closed coffee mugs?
Oh, it's a mug. Okay, I thought it was like one of your travel coffee cups that you bring with you everywhere.
No.
Oh. Well, getting back on topic. I don't know what it was. Something with him just clicked where I just started throwing ninja stars and murdering people. Like, I went on a 4-kill streak the first time I started playing as him.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about him. He just feels so satisfying. Like, he can reflect things with his sword.
Yeah.
He's got that little dragon thing when you charge up his little ultimate. It's just such a good character.
Yeah, it feels really good. That's what the one thing I think Blizzard did really well with this kind of game is they made each character feel good to play. I mean, sure, some feel worse than others, but they all feel good when you can get them right.
Yeah. I think that's something that's very important with a game like this, where if you're going to try to take a formula that Team Fortress has done and done very well, the only way to make it better is to add more characters. But you got to make sure those characters are, they're fun to play as, and they add some sort of diversity to the game, and I think Blizzard has definitely done that.
The one problem I think this game is going to have, at least when it comes to market, is that, and I've done this too, is that tons of people are confusing it with Battleborn.
Oh, absolutely. I'm seeing that everywhere.
And so when this game comes out, I could see a lot of people being like, "Oh, that Battleborn game looks terrible. I'm not going to play that." But they're thinking of Overwatch or vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I could just see this. I could see this not doing well initially, but maybe catching an audience later on once people figure out the difference between the two. I mean, they're coming out like a week apart or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's very, very close. I know Overwatch is the end of this month, and Battleborn is, I think,
it's already out.
Is it already out?
Yeah.
I thought it was coming out next week.
I thought,
is that free to play, or is that a?
No, it's a $60 game. It's got a
$60?
campaign and everything. It's a lot like Borderlands, apparently. Oh, you told me that. We literally talked about this on the show.
Yeah, I didn't have any idea about the price point though, because I only played a match or two to cover for my brother. But I don't know. I think I have enough goofy-looking, hectic shooters in my life for right now.
Yeah, I think Overwatch is going to be one that I definitely put some time into when it actually comes out.
Yeah, it's gonna consume a large part of my life. Right when finals are around the corner too, so it couldn't have been better timing.
You know what's weird to think about though is that somehow Blizzard, kind of being the people that they are, I guess they kind of had a ballsy thought in their head, was that because if you really think about it, they're like one of the only people left who still have a paid model for their MMOs, and now they're taking this game, which is essentially Team Fortress 2, and they're putting it out for money, whereas Team Fortress 2 is free to play right now. It's kind of odd to think about, in a way.
I wonder how the Blizzard development team feels about having their game compared to Team Fortress so thoroughly. Because they have to, every time they do a Q&A panel, every time they do a Reddit AMA, anytime they do anything interacting with the public, somebody's going to bring up the fact that it's so similar to Team Fortress.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that they knew what they were doing, though, when they made this game. Like, there's no way that you can make this sort of gameplay and, like, this sort of, I guess you'd call it, like, a hero shooter, and not realize that, hey, this is a lot like Team Fortress.
Yeah. I think what it benefits from is that the games are so quick.
Yeah, they feel very fast-paced and quick, so, like, even if you're doing really bad in one game, your game's ended, and then you can start over again.
Yeah, so it wasn't, like, before if I wanted to play, like, back when I played League of Legends or something, like, alright, I think I'm going to sit down and play a game. I had to make sure that I had 45 minutes to spare for that one game, because that's potentially how long it was going to take.
Right.
But with Overwatch, I could have a spare 20 minutes and knock out 4 games.
Or, like, if you're going to play a game like DC Universe Online and you need to spare 6 hours to play it.
Yeah.
Because you need to wait for 6 hours and then play the actual game. I played more of that, too, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah.
Do you like it anymore?
I mean, it's an MMO. Like, Yeah,
no more, no less.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty much WoW with a controller, in a way. Mainly because I'm playing it on console. I'm sure if I played it on PC, it would just be WoW. But, it's interesting. I'm curious where, like, its end game is going, because it seems to be just a lot of missions that you're doing for superheroes, and there seems to be, like, an actual storyline to it, which, while they have those usually in MMOs, it seems like a single-player story, but they brought it into, like, an MMO environment.
Maybe it's possible that story is recycled from an old game that never got developed, or maybe DC Universe turned into this game somewhere in development.
Could be. Could very well be. I don't know. But it's fun. I'd say try it if you have a spare 6 hours, or you can play it in the middle of the day when nobody's playing it. Because I played it in the middle of the day yesterday.
Yeah.
And I got in there at, like, I was, like, number 155 in line. And the line went really quick, so...
Yeah, there you go. So, there you go. If you want to play it at night, queue up, go to dinner, come back, play the game.
Yeah, that's what I do a lot of the times, is I'll queue it up, I'll go play something, like, on PlayStation or something like that, because my Xbox is completely locked down at that point with DC Universe Online. And then I'll just come back to it when I'm ready, or I'll go downstairs and do something that I need to do downstairs, like make dinner or do dishes or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just killing some time.
Exactly. It's a good game that makes me do my chores. So maybe that's what DC Universe Online is trying to do.
It's what it's all about, really.
It's about being a dork. Oh, look at that.
But have we played anything this week besides Overwatch, Jacob, or is that all you and I have been playing?
I think that's it, literally.
I'm trying to think.
It was that and DC Universe Online. Oh, I took another hit of the crack that is, what is it? Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, really? It's been a while since you played that.
Yeah, I put the needle back in the spot. It was ready.
Yeah. You relapsed.
Yeah.
Went to the meetings. You thought you were clean, and then
I love that. I would love to think of like a round table, like they all sit in a circle, like at the chairs, and one dude's like, "It just felt so great, just breaching the wall." Seeing my friend back there, he was playing his castle. He was disoriented from the explosion. I took him out with a shotgun. Of course, I was playing his Ash. That'd be great.
Oh God. Have anything hooking you back on the game, or was it just play it for old time's sake kind of thing?
It was a thing of like we were bored and had nothing to do, so we were like, "Hey, here's one of the games we haven't played in a long time." And then the second we got back in the game, I just remembered how fun it is and how great it is.
It is a really, really good game from what I've seen. I haven't played it personally, but
and honestly, like the more and more I think about it, I wish I could go back and retroactively make my top 5 list again, because I think it's my favorite shooter of the year last year.
Really?
Yeah. Because I don't know what it is. Like, I like team-based shooters, and I feel like we don't have enough of those on the market as of, like, now.
I can't think of another one.
Because, like, while Call of Duty is team-based, and while Battlefield is more team-based than Call of Duty, like, you can play both of those as a lone wolf, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, there is a team component if you want it to be there, otherwise you ignore it and do what you want.
Exactly.
But in Rainbow Six, you can't do that.
Yeah, it's literally just like you have to be a team. No one man can be the hero.
Yeah, I honestly can't think of another game like that, now that I'm actually putting my mind to it.
I mean, I can think of a lot of other games like that, but they're all in the Rainbow Six franchise.
Yeah, it seems to be a Tom Clancy thing.
Exactly. Tom Clancy knows. Ghost Recon as well, which they have a new one. I want to say it's coming out this year, but I'm not 100% sure. I guess we'll find out at E3. They announced it last year at E3, and they said 2016. So, but that one's like an open world game where you take out like drug lords. It looks cool. But
maybe I'll have to get into the Rainbow franchise.
Yeah, maybe you should get into Siege, honestly, because I could show you the ropes with Siege.
All right, Jacob's trying to get me addicted now.
Yeah, and then when you get addicted, when you buy Siege, you get Vegas 1 and 2, and they're backwards compatible, so you can just download those, and then we can play those too.
Oh, well, now I like free things, so I don't know. Now I'm tempted.
Exactly. I want to say like Siege is like $40 now at like GameStop.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, so you could get in there. It's a relatively cheap price to get into the game. You could play it with us. You could have a grand old time.
I might have to do that.
Yeah.
Have you played any more of Dark Souls since we last spoke?
I've played a little bit more, and I think I'm at the point where I'm just about to quit. I think that game has broken me.
Really? Well, if I tell you something, I think you might get back into it.
What is that?
You're going the wrong way again.
Am I really?
Yeah, the whole ghost area called New Londo, I believe it's called.
Yeah, I got a little bit further down there.
Yeah, that's way farther in the game.
I wish they just had a map. Just tell me where to go.
I wasn't gonna tell you because I was hoping that maybe you would turn around and go, all right, if this is similar to the skeleton area, I'm dying constantly. Let me try another area.
I can't find any more paths other than the skeleton area and this ghost area, though.
The big ramp on the right.
You tell me that the big ramp on the right, but there is no big ramp on the right. There's another staircase that leads me back to the to the skeleton area.
That's going down. You want to go up. There's a staircase on your right. You know the well is that you got the humanity from.
Yes.
Keep going in that direction.
Okay.
And you'll see a big staircase with a few zombie-looking things on it, and you'll be on your right path from there.
I see. I really don't want to look up a walkthrough.
We're gonna have to do a recording of this, so I can at least point you in the right direction as as you truck through the game.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna have to be a thing that happens. Because as of now, I'm incredibly confused.
It's not a game that gives you a lot of help.
You know what though? Last night I watched gameplay of Bloodborne, and I immediately was like, "This looks so much better to me."
It's a different beast for sure. All the mechanics are exactly the same as Dark Souls, but it's fast paced instead of defensive.
I was like looking at it, I was like, this is literally just Dark Souls. They literally just made another Dark Souls. But then I was like, but this looks like so much more fun to me.
It's very possible that you'll enjoy that one more. I know my brother does.
Mm.
And you and him seem to agree on a lot of things, and from what I've noticed on this podcast.
Honestly, you know what, Brad? Get off the mic. Get your brother in the room.
Yeah, he's gonna be the new. He's gonna be the new host.
Just comes in, it's like, hello, all right. Imagine if he came on and we immediately just had like a beautiful rapport with each other. Like we just became like great hosts together.
Yeah, it's gonna be 45 minutes of you guys doing nothing but agreeing with everything the other says.
Exactly. We'd be like, oh my god, that was great, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Whatever. But I think that's all we've played this week.
I believe it has been.
And now we can get into talking about things that are news. So, when I went to go make the news doc, there was, like, literally nothing of newsworthiness.
No, right before E3, we're not going to see anything.
No, I didn't even think about that it's, like, right before E3.
Yeah.
And we still need to figure out what we're going to do for E3, by the way. But this is an exciting time to think about, because E3 is coming. But, screw E3. Who needs E3 right now?
Make our own E3.
Exactly.
Blackjack and hookers.
That was like a real Bender line that you just threw out there.
I gotta quote Bender every now and again.
Oh, that literally was a Bender quote, wasn't it?
Yep.
Nice. Okay. So, Dishonored 2. Did you play Dishonored 1?
I did not, but my brother speaks very highly of it.
Well, Dishonored 2 is continuing the element of the original game, which is to get an all-star voice cast, right? With actors from movies such as Moon and TV shows such as Daredevil and Game of Thrones, two of our favorites.
Absolutely.
Dishonored 2's two main characters, however, will be brought to life by people who are primarily voice actors, not screen actors. Corvo Attano was a silent protagonist in the original Dishonored, but he will speak in the sequel, in which he is voiced by Stephen Russell, a veteran of Bethesda games. Russell has previously voiced characters such as Nick Valentine in Fallout 4 and Mercer Frey in The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Cool.
Emily Caldwin was 10 years old when she was kidnapped at the beginning of Dishonored, and she was voiced in the game by Chloe Grace Moretz. The sequel takes place about 15 years later, and she will be voiced by Erica Luttrell. She was in Fallout 4 and Steven Universe. She provides the voice of Emily as an adult. At least one other Dishonored character is returning, the Outsider. However, he is voiced by a different actor in the sequel, Robin Lord Taylor from Gotham and The Walking Dead, instead of Billy Lush. I don't know who he is on The Walking Dead or Gotham. I watched like a couple episodes of Gotham and it was terrible.
Yeah, it really wasn't good.
Yeah. And although Dishonored 2 takes place in a new locale, the southern city of Karnaca, I'm going to say Karnaca, a character from the first game setting of Dunwall plays the role in the sequel. Wait, that sentence. And although Dishonored...
It's a very oddly phrased sentence.
Yeah, it is. Mortimer Ramsey of Dunwall City Watch, who is voiced by Sam Rockwell, is also... I guess Sam Rockwell is joining the cast. I like Sam Rockwell. He's in Iron Man 2. He plays Justin Hammer in that movie. Keeping the Marvel train rolling, 2 stars from Netflix's Daredevil play important roles in Dishonored 2. Vincent D'Onofrio, who played the Kingpin on that show.
Very, very well.
Yes, provides the voice of Luca Abel, the Duke of Syrcanos. I don't get... What is this with this game's, like, naming of places?
Very fantasy pronoun-y.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson, who plays the nurse lady, I forget her name, on Daredevil.
Claire.
Claire voices Megan Foster, the dreadful whale captain. Finally, 2 actors from a couple of violent HBO series are appearing in Dishonored 2. Pedro Pascal from Game of Thrones voices Paolo, the leader of the Howler Gang, and Jamie Hector from The Wire plays Liam Byrne, the Vice Overseer. Dishonored 2 publisher Bethesda also announced a release date for the game. It will be available November 11th on PlayStation 4, Windows PC, and Xbox One.
So if this game does not do well, it'll not be because of its voice acting cast.
Yeah, no, because they got like a pretty all-star voice acting cast for
a video game, which usually doesn't have, top quality voice actors. I mean, the voice acting is never bad in video games. Well, it can be, but it's never the type of thing that you go to, TV stars for.
Yeah. I mean, especially when you have like so many great voice actors out there. It's like
my assumption is that Nolan North was busy and John DiMaggio said no. So that's
Troy Baker was probably doing 45 games at once.
yeah.
He's in Overwatch too. I noticed he plays the cowboy guy.
Yeah, McCree.
Yeah, which I assume is a reference to the game Mad Dog McCree.
Probably.
Which would be great because that game doesn't get enough love. But I mean, I like the first Dishonored. It was fun.
I've never played it, but my brother says I should because it's great. But
yeah, it's like a first-person stealth game. You stab people in the back and you can throw rats at them.
And does he really never speak?
Yeah, he doesn't speak the whole first game, so the fact that he's speaking in the second one's a little odd.
That's interesting, actually. I kind of like that because it's a writing tool not used very often in video games of a silent protagonist. Because it makes you sort of, I can't speak for Dishonored specifically, but it makes you sort of question your protagonist's motives as to why he's doing the things that he's doing.
Yeah, if he's not there to explain it.
Yeah, he's not saying anything. Shows no, hint as to whether he agrees or disagrees with the things that he's doing. And so you're kind of left to make that decision on your own, which is interesting. And I guess in the second game, with him speaking now, you're going to get a little more insight into his line of thinking, which, and just from a writing perspective, sounds awesome to me.
And he's got a great voice actor with the guy who played Nick Valentine.
Yeah, I hope he talks just like Nick Valentine.
That would be great. That would be hilarious.
Because who doesn't want that accent?
Speaking of who doesn't want that accent, I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know.
Titanfall developer Respawn is making a Star Wars game.
Welcome to the decade of Star Wars, my friends. A movie every year and more video games than you're going to know what to do with.
Respawn Entertainment, the developer behind Titanfall, is working on a new Star Wars video game for EA, the studio announced. Stig Amusen.
It's a fantastic name.
Yeah.
It's actually the last name of the Stig on Top Gear.
The former God of War director described the unnamed Star Wars title as a third-person action/adventure game. He says, "I've been playing Star Wars games my whole life. Now I get to make a Star Wars game." What a great quote. Amusen wrote on Respawn's website, continuing that quote. "On top of that, I get to do it at Respawn, a studio comprised of the most talented collection of game makers, creators, visionaries, and most importantly, advocates for the player that I have had the good fortune to work with, and we, like you, all have no shortage of Star Wars passion." Respawn's journey to a galaxy far, far away is part of publisher Electronic Arts' deal with Disney to produce games based on the Star Wars license. Another quote from Amusen says, "We promise to pay respects to Star Wars legacy at all times, a fact that will constantly be constantly reinforced and honored as a central game design tenet. Fans should expect an exemplary level of quality first established at Respawn with Titanfall, a game that epitomizes our studio's dedication to slick, larger-than-life action and fun. Groundbreaking mechanics. Moving forward, we couldn't ask for a better universe in which we can continue this journey, and although I would love to share all the exciting places we are going..."
He stops the quote.
Yeah, that's such a weird place to stop that quote.
I guess he was going for a dramatic ending, just like, I wish I could tell you, but...
Yeah. Respawn joins Visceral Games, DICE, Capital Games, BioWare, and Motive as one of the teams developing Star Wars games for EA. In a post on EA's website, Patrick Soderlund, I'm going to say that's how you say his name, Executive Vice President of EA Studios, and the publisher will be sharing more details on Visceral and Motive's games soon, so you got to assume that's going to be coming from...
E3.
Yeah. What do you think of this?
So, do you think this has any connection to the elusive 1313 that has been on and off for years and is officially canceled at this point? But that was also supposed to be a third-person adventure game.
Here's the thing. I think Visceral's game might be that, in all honesty.
You think so?
Yeah. I'm more excited for Visceral's game, in all honesty, right now, because we have more details about it, like how the writer of Uncharted, like the first 3, is doing it.
Yeah.
Like writing the game, so that just sounds amazing to me. And it's supposed to be like a third person and a game, and a lot of the quotes coming out of it was that it was going to be a bounty hunter game.
Yeah, because they're supposed to focus on Boba Fett.
Yeah, 1313 was supposed to focus on Boba Fett, so that makes me think that maybe their game might be
what 1313 turned into.
Yeah, or a completely different game, just kind of working on that template of 1313.
Yeah.
I kind of hope, given the fact that the director of the game was a former God of War director, that this is like a lightsaber game. In all honesty,
it's possible. I mean, this is Respawn who made Titanfall, right?
Yes.
So, who's making Titanfall 2? Respawn as well.
Respawn as well, yeah. I guess they have two teams now.
Yeah, so remember that in Titanfall 2, there's going to be mechs with swords. So they're not unfamiliar with the hand-to-hand combat type deal now. They know how to do it. And I just want to point something out here. We have Visceral, DICE, Capital Games, BioWare, and Motive on top of Respawn now.
Yeah.
Those are some fantastic developers.
And can we just hope... I hope that when they say BioWare, they don't just mean they're continuing support for the Old Republic. It means we're getting an actual Knights of the Old Republic 3.
Oh, I could only dream.
Imagine, oh my god.
So I have a lot of faith in Respawn because they're not lying. They know how to do, interesting mechanics. Because they sort of started this whole, running on walls phenomenon we have all over the place now.
Yeah, and they kind of were the big, I guess, first, future game. Black Ops 2 did it, but it wasn't really, future. It was just mainly hey, this is set.
Yeah, they were the first, sci-fi future kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, I have a lot of faith in them to do well to this franchise, and I want to see what kind of cool mechanics they can come up with when they're given Star Wars to play with.
I mean, even if it's something like you're a stormtrooper and you can do cool stuff, that would be great too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe they're making a bounty hunter game and we're completely wrong about what Visceral's game is,
Yeah. So
there's so many cool things that could come out of this.
I mean, we have Visceral, which we might get the bounty hunter game we've always wanted out of. We have Respawn making a game with fantastic mechanics. We know DICE knows how to make a shooter, if nothing else.
And hopefully they'll make a better Battlefront 2, maybe with some of the things that we want.
Yeah. I don't know too much about Capital, but BioWare is arguably one of the best studios in the industry at writing video games. So
exactly.
if nothing else, if they're involved in anything, we're getting fantastic storylines. So we're literally in the decade of Star Wars.
Capital Games is a mobile game developer.
Explain why I never heard of them.
They made Heroes of Dragon Age, which seems to be like a Dragon Age mobile game.
I'm sure.
And Motive, I don't know who Motive is, do you?
Motive, a quick Google tells me that it's a TV series. That's not what I wanted.
Same. I have no clue what Motive is. I know who I would love they would get, because they own them. They should get Criterion Games, who made Burnout, and they made some of the later Need for Speeds, to make a pod racing game.
Yeah, as long as they say this is pod racing somewhere in the game.
Exactly.
It's a requirement.
Speaking of Criterion Games, segue.
I saw the segue coming.
Dangerous Golf, the debut title from Three Fields Entertainment, will be released June 3rd on PlayStation 4, Windows PC, and Xbox One. Three Fields, which was formed in 2014 by co-founders of Burnout developer Criterion Games, designed Dangerous Golf as an arcade sports title in the vein of Crash Mode from the old Burnout games. Players attempt to rack up high scores by destroying environments like a castle, kitchen, and a gas station with the only tool available to them, a very powerful, very explosive golf ball. If you like Burnout and Black and NBA Jam, you might like this. You might not, said Three Fields creative director Alex Ward in an interview with Polygon.
It's a very weird way to say that. You might like it, you might not. I don't know. What the hell?
Dangerous Golf features a campaign mode with 100 holes across the US, England, France, and Australia. It can be played solo or cooperatively. Multiplayer action is available online and offline for up to 8 players. For more on Dangerous Golf, check out the new gameplay video that was released by Three Fields Entertainment. We'll link that below.
Yep. You excited for Dangerous Golf, Jacob?
I am, mainly because Crash Mode is my favorite thing in Burnout, and it's what makes Burnout, the greatest racing franchise of all time, in all honesty. And if they just basically made Crash Mode with a golf ball, that's exciting.
That seems to be what this is. And why is golf the sport that brings all of the craziness to it? We have 100-foot robot golf.
I was just thinking about that. Like, this game is coming out against a 100-foot robot golf.
Yeah, I don't know what golf did to the video game industry, but they like to make a mockery of it.
Well, I mean, other sports have gotten it for a long time. Like, NBA Jam is, like, just a crazy version of basketball.
Yeah, that's true.
NFL Blitz. There's Mutant League Football, which is, like, where you could kill people on the field.
I think it's just the contrast, honestly, because golf is, the thing where they're like, oh, and he's going to go for a putt, and oh, such a fantastic putt.
Oh, God, he got it in, and the crowd is going crazy. Meanwhile, the crowd is like...
This one guy who just dropped his drink and swearing, that's about the only action going on.
Like, he's, like, setting up his putt. He's like...
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir, can you please be quiet?
Yeah, so I think it's just that contrast to, such a quiet sport to now you're blowing up what looks like a museum in the little still of the trailer they have.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see what it's like.
If nothing else, it'll be a good time killer.
Exactly. I don't know how to segue into this next story, so I'm gonna say, hey, you kill a lot of things in Epic Games, right?
Yeah.
Like how you kill time. Epic Games might never make another single player game again.
That is the saddest news I've heard all day.
I know. Epic Games has shifted its development focus away from single-player games. Current and former members of the studio told Polygon. Fans should expect more titles like free-to-play online games Paragon and Fortnite from the studio, as opposed to costly, campaign-driven titles like Gears of War that made it famous. The economics of those games forces developers to work with major publishers to succeed, and that seems to be irreversible, CEO Tim Sweeney said of the big budget games that the company is now shying away from. Instead, the company's creative focus now draws from the more indie spirit, Sweeney explained. The change began after the release of Gears of War Judgment, another big budget project for the studio. As it faced exploding development costs, the company recognized and began to embrace the trend of dynamic multiplayer releases that conform to the needs of players. We realized that the business really needed to change its approach quite significantly, he said. We were seeing some of the best games in the industry being built and operated as live games over time rather than big retail releases. We recognize that the ideal role for Epic in the industry is to drive that, he said, and so we began the transition of being a fairly narrow console developer focused on Xbox to being a multi-platform game developer and self-publisher and indie on a larger scale. It's all part of Epic Games' new vision for itself, something we explore in depth in this month's cover story. I assume that's talking about something that I guess they talked to like a Game Informer?
I believe so.
But it's a cover story that really confused me because there was nothing setting that up before. So basically what this is all saying is that Epic is just kind of moving away from single-player games to multiplayer games, which kind of sucks because Gears of War, while it's still going to go on, obviously, they just have a new studio working on it. Like, games like that had a really good story, and I'd really like to see like what those people who originally made Gears of War could do with the franchise.
I absolutely hate this story, and for a few reasons. One of them is that the reasons they're giving for getting away from the campaign-driven titles annoys the hell out of me. So they're saying that we're seeing some of the best games in the industry being built and operated as live games over time rather than big releases. And I think they're missing the reason as to why that is. The reason that live games are some of the best games in the industry right now is because a lot of the big campaign-driven titles suck right now. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, Gears of War is part of the problem here, where, if you rehash a game so many times, Call of Duty, Halo is getting there at this point, and I love Halo, so if I'm saying it, it's sacrilege to me. I'm sure if I spent more than 30 seconds thinking, I can think of some more, but they're these big triple Assassin's Creed, there we go, Assassin's Creed, and these big retail titles, they're not as good as they used to be, and so people are looking for other games to play, which is where these live titles come in. It's not that people are looking less towards big story release games. If anything, they want story games more. But it's true, they are expensive to make, and for a company, that's not a realistic risk to take. Which annoys the hell out of me.
Right.
Because this is gonna keep happening. This isn't gonna be the only studio to do this.
Yeah, like, my whole thing is, like, single-player focused games aren't doing worse than they have before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just that, like you said, like, we're getting fatigued. Like, I mean, look at Grand Theft Auto 5, right? While that game has a huge multiplayer component to it, it's mainly single-player focused, and that game came out and sold gangbusters because it doesn't sell every year, right? If you made, like, a Gears of War every, like, 3 or 4 years, it would sell more than it does if you make one every year or every other year. You know what I mean?
I want to find out who started this trend of we need to get a game out every year so I can slap them silly.
I would say it's Call of Duty, probably, because Call of Duty is probably the oldest one I can remember.
Call of Duty, maybe... Now, I would imagine one of the sports titles would be doing it first.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah, sports titles then, technically. But even then, like, sports titles aren't huge single-player driven games, you know?
Yeah, I guess it would be Call of Duty then.
Yeah.
Would be the one who came out every single year. Because this is what it's doing to the industry. Is now people are getting fatigued of these, frankly, not great story-driven games that are very expensive to make. And so people are going to the cheaper alternative, and we need to at some point realize that it's not the type of game that you're making that's the problem, it's the quality of the game that you're making which is the problem. And don't get me wrong, I would love to see Epic Games branch out into some multiplayer stuff. They've said before that they're thinking about some VR stuff, and that's all great. I want to see them do that, but just saying that we're not doing single player because it's too expensive and people don't seem to want it anymore, that annoys me, because that's, frankly, I think that's just incorrect.
See, the thing that really, it really sucks to me is that just, like, in a way, the annualization of video games is the way to keep the company afloat, and that's kind of a problem. So maybe I do kind of see where Epic is coming from here, is that think about Call of Duty, right? They cost tons of money to make, but they make tons of money because they come out every year, right?
Yeah, it's a terrible circle. Like, once you start it, you're screwed. You can't stop it because you need the money from these yearly sales to keep you going. So unless you get to a point where you can go, okay, we have enough in reserves where we can go, we're not going to ship one for the next year, like Assassin's Creed is doing almost.
Exactly. That's the thing that sucks too about that, right? Is Assassin's Creed 1 came out, right? It was a good game, but it wasn't like a great game. And then Assassin's Creed 2, they took a couple years, they made a new one, and then it came out, and it was like...
It was fantastic.
It was fantastic, because they fixed all the problems of the first one. And then, when they made like a year release after that, it made sense, kind of, because it was just spin-offs of Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah, they were trying to roll on the momentum.
Yeah, so they were smaller titles anyway, and so you could release them every year, and it was fine. But then the problem became when, like, Assassin's Creed 3 happened, and then the year after was Assassin's Creed 4, and then Unity and Syndicate and all this.
Yeah, and you before you know it, you're in a hole so deep you can't get out again.
And then that's what I think Ubisoft understood with that, why they pulled Assassin's Creed this year, and maybe Watch Dogs is their big fall game.
Yeah.
And even Watch Dogs is the same thing too, right? Watch Dogs was in development for a long time. It came out, it did good, but it like wasn't like the game that everyone hoped it was. Now I assume they went back to the drawing board to fix it, and Watch Dogs 2 could be a lot better of a game for it.
Yeah, if it's very well, they could do with Watch Dogs what happened with Assassin's Creed. That's entirely possible.
But the problem becomes if now that they've fixed the problems of Watch Dogs with this one, if they just keep making Watch Dogs every year, we're not going to want it.
Yeah.
So I hope that they learn from their whole Assassin's Creed thing. Because I remember this quote that was so telling about Assassin's Creed was that the Ubisoft president was like, the reason why we make Assassin's Creed every year is because people buy it. Right, people obviously want new Assassin's Creeds every year, so we keep making them.
Yeah.
Then I want to say like one of them just didn't sell well, and they were like, "Well, let's go back to the drawing board and fix this." So if this new Watch Dogs comes out and sells like gangbusters, and they make one every year, it's like you didn't really learn any lesson there, did you?
Yeah, I want to be in a future where we're not seeing yearly releases of a title at the cost of quality, which is a very ambitious dream, but I think it's one that can happen. I don't see it happening, but it could happen. And what I think what I want most of all is that I want to see where we can get in terms of video games if people focus more on the quality of the games that they're producing. Don't get me wrong, every studio who ships a game thinks their game is amazing. And they should. They put a lot of work and a lot of love in the games that they make. But not every studio is going to go from Assassin's 1 to Assassin's 2.
Exactly. I wish every company could be a Rockstar.
Yeah. I mean, how many, every 4 years, every 4 or 5 years we get a GTA? And
yeah, I want to say.
And it goes through the roof because it's amazing?
And here's the thing, right? With GTA, and I never really thought about this before, right? If you think about, like, the posters that you see at GameStop and stuff, it's literally just, like, a shot of, like, the character of the game. It's not even, like, a good poster that shows you what GTA is about. It's just, like, Michael standing there holding a gun, and then maybe there's another poster that's just the cover art of the game, right? And somehow that game sells like gangbusters.
It's still selling when it's been out for 3 years.
It's still consistently in the top 10 every month of the best-selling games. It doesn't make any sense, that game, to me. It just doesn't. But what was I going to... I was going to say something else about that game, too. I completely forgot. That game, too, they only release, like, they would release, like, 10 screenshots every, like, 4 months. And that was, like, a huge story when screenshots of GTA 5 would come out. Imagine if they could do that with an Assassin's Creed, where they didn't make an Assassin's Creed for, like, 4 years. And then there was like, oh, man, here's the screens of the new Assassin's Creed. Isn't this exciting?
Yeah, I think that's where Rockstar, benefits where other studios don't, is they put out a game every 4 or 5 years. And people play it for the entirety of that time, but it becomes almost habit to them, right? Mm. They're used to having GTA 5 and that's it. And then suddenly when Rockstar goes, hey guys, what about a GTA 6? Would you be interested in that? Everybody goes, wait, what? Like, everybody's immediately paying attention because this game that they've loved for the last 5 years might be getting another one. Like, I mean, that has a powerful pull to it. And when was the last time you felt that pull to a Call of Duty?
Never.
Exactly.
I mean, the one time I got kind of excited was when they made Advanced Warfare and Kevin Spacey was in it, just because I like Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the game, but there was Kevin Spacey.
Exactly.
So, I mean... I think that's what made this, like, what angered me so much was the little subtitle that Polygon has on their article, which is "The future is free to play multiplayer," and I hate that. I think that's what kind of set me off in this article. This is a little unfair to Epic. I'm not trying to bash them as a developer. I love the Gears of War franchise. It has John DiMaggio in it. I can't ask for any more. But I hate the notion that free-to-play multiplayer is the future, because quite frankly, I'm sick of free-to-play multiplayer.
It's just it's a sad story to end on, I guess.
Well, I guess it's a good thing we're not ending on it.
You're right, because we still have the wrap-up. You like that? You like how I did that?
Yeah, it was great.
If you don't know what the wrap-up is, this is where I read these quick-fire stories and just throw them at Brad, and then Brad will tell me what he thinks of these.
Yeah, you throw enough at the wall and something sticks. Isn't that how that works?
Microsoft will kick off its annual E3 press briefing at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Time on Monday, June 13th. The show will focus on the newest games, tech, and features for both Xbox One and Windows 10, according to the E3 Hub on the Xbox website. Microsoft will live stream its press conference on the Xbox website and Xbox consoles, and probably on Twitch. And it will also broadcast the event live on Spike TV. Afterward, Jeff Keighley will host an Xbox briefing post-show special on his YouTube Live at E3 show. That stream will begin at 4 p.m. and on June 13th, Microsoft will also hold its own Xbox Daily Show from 4 to 5 p.m. on June 14th and June 15th.
There's a lot of stuff coming.
I love E3. E3 is my favorite time of the year, in all honesty.
It's Christmas for the video gamers.
In all honesty, it's my favorite time of the year, and it just makes me super happy, and I love press conference day. It's my favorite day, which is why I got so upset when all these people were pulling out of E3, because press conference day is my favorite day.
Yeah, E3's been taking a hit the last few years. Every year it seems like somebody's pulling out to do their own thing. Hopefully we'll get more people to come into it rather than leave it.
Yeah. 2 more multiplayer maps for Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered were revealed by Activision in an interview with Forbes. The 2 maps are Overgrown and Bog. Overgrown, set in a long abandoned town overrun by vegetation, appeared in 2007's Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare and 2 years later in Modern Warfare 2. Bog, a junk field set in Saudi Arabia, was only in the first Modern Warfare. The 3 other maps that were announced by Activision on Monday are Backlot, Crash, and Crossfire. Now, the keen observer will notice that that's 5 maps that have been announced. We still need to announce 5 more.
Yes.
Stay tuned to E3.
Yeah. I mean, no matter what maps they come out with, every map in the first Modern Warfare was pretty much amazing, so.
Yeah. It sucks that it's not Modern Warfare 2, though, because I want High Rise and Terminal.
Those are some fantastic maps. But
Fallout
we can
4,
hope.
Yes, we can hope. Fallout 4's next add-on expansion, Far Harbor,
Yeah, like you emphasized the R's.
Yeah, I did, because I didn't want to say it the right way. Will hit PlayStation 4, Windows PC, and Xbox One on May 19th. Bethesda released the first trailer for the new content, which we will link down below as well, showing off new sights and scares fans of the apocalyptic role-playing game can look forward to. Those who bought Fallout 4 Season Pass will receive Fahaba upon launch.
Yep. There you go, guys who aren't in New England. Now you get to hear everybody say it like New Englanders.
Exactly.
Because we only have 25 letters in our alphabet.
Exactly. You have anything to say about that, or are you excited?
I'm excited. I had this
set in Maine.
I think what we went to see Stephen King then.
I was just gonna say something.
I'm anything Fallout can give me at this point, I'm happy to receive. I just want to play their survival mode, the revamped one, because it looks so fun. It looks challenging as anything, which
it does.
I'm all for.
Maybe that's what we'll reboot our Fallout 4 video series to, is a survival series.
Oh, maybe, yeah, I like that.
Mm.
Let's do it. It's decided.
Speaking of more expansions, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth's first expansion, Afterbirth, launches May 10th on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The expansion will sell for $10.99. Afterbirth is a major add-on that introduces additional playable character Lilith, more than 1,000 new room designs, 4 alternative chapters, daily runs, the new greed mode, all kinds of new items, and more. The expansion offers more than 100 hours of additional gameplay, according to the game's publisher, Nicalis.
Yeah, Binding of Isaac has always been this game where there's just so much content in what seems like a small game at first glance. It's a relatively cheap game. And
I know, I got it for free from PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, and there is a hell of a lot of content. Like, I'm like 2 expansions behind at this point, and I'm not even a third of the way what I already have.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if you play Binding of Isaac nonstop, then I'm sure you're very happy with this expansion because you know you're going to get a lot more than 100 hours of content out of it. But, I mean, if you're not an avid player, then this just seems like more content on an already really high mountain of it.
Fun fact, Binding of Isaac Rebirth is the only game to ever offend my father when I played it in front of him.
Really?
Yeah.
He didn't like the...
He didn't like the religious aspect of it.
Oh. When I was playing it, my cousins walked into the room and he said, "What acid have I taken?" Because the art style of that game is repulsive and creepy, and it fits.
Yeah, he was. My dad's a religious person, and he was offended by the religious stuff in the game.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of religious aspects to the game. I mean,
Yeah,
the whole story revolves around the Bible story.
Yeah, when I explained to him like what the plot of the game was, he was like, "Well, about it." But moving on, because this is the wrap up. Atlas will release Persona 5 on September 15th. But wait just a second, do not get excited because this date is only confirmed for Japan. It's not clear whether the release date also applies globally.
Yeah, we'll find out soon whether or not that's a global release date. I want to get into the Persona series.
You should.
I want more JRPGs in my life. And
if you had a Vita, it'd be a lot easier for you to get into it.
You know what, it would be, but I don't have a Vita, and I'm kind of glad I don't, not gonna lie.
Grow up. And finally, both Star Wars The Force Unleashed games for Xbox 360 are now backwards compatible with Xbox One. They did that for Star Wars Day, which was yesterday. What did you do on your May 4th?
I logged into Star Wars Battlefront and got my 4,444 credits. And I watched, what do you want to call it? Watched a bunch of Star Wars stuff.
I watched Force Awakens again.
Did you? I was debating on watching it, but I decided against it. I had just watched the CinemaSins, Everything Wrong with Force Awakens, and after you watch one of his videos, I feel like I've seen the whole movie. So,
yeah,
I really didn't feel the need to sit down and watch it.
Also added to backwards compatibility, though, are Phantasy Star 2, Sonic and Knuckles, Dig Dug, Runner 2, Bit Trip presents Runner 2, Future Legend of Rhythm Alien, and Samurai Showdown 2.
Can I say something about the Force Unleashed games?
Yeah, I like them a lot.
Do you like them a lot? Okay.
I mean, I never really played the second one. I played like a little bit of it, but the first one I really liked a lot.
A lot of people don't like the second one for various reasons, but something about the Force Unleashed games, they do very well that not a lot of games do successfully, and they just make you feel like a badass.
Yeah,
like
especially that one part when you like pull a Star Destroyer down.
Yeah, like you feel unstoppable, and it's awesome. It's one of the most like primal attractions to video games is that like. That power fantasy where like you're unstoppable in this world. You're pulling, city-sized ships out of the sky and, mowing through like huge waves of enemies. And it's something that I love from that series of games.
See, I feel that power fantasy works for some games, but not for others.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Like I remember the one game that really bothered me that it did it was The Last of Us, and spoilers for The Last of Us here. At the end of the game, you just like mow down a bunch of people in like a hospital. And, like, I was like, this is not what this game has been about at this point.
No, see, it's one of those things where you need to know whether or not it fits your game. And Last of Us was very much driven on the story.
It was driven on the story and even on the fact of, like, you're not some unstoppable killing machine. You're just a guy.
Yeah, in fact, you're very far from unstoppable. The whole thing is you're trying to hide. You're trying to get away. You're trying to survive.
Exactly, and that really... Like, I remember at the end, like, being like, oh, this is fun and everything, but, like, this is not what I wanted from the end of this game.
It pulls you out of the game.
Yeah, exactly. But that's it for the news.
Yep, that would be the news.
And if that's it for the news, you know what that means, Brad.
I have an idea.
What's your idea?
I think I have to play a certain game now.
A certain game called, Well, That Sucked. Cue the theme song. Welcome to Well That Sucked. The way the game works is simple. I give Brad 3 randomly chosen games, and he has to tell me which of the 3 is the lowest rated according to Metacritic. I can give Brad no help besides a brief description of the game if Brad asks for it. Brad, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Did you notice how in the middle I turned into Jeff Goldblum?
You did. It's a side effect of being a game show host.
I forgot what to say, and by the way, I just wanted to say a story that this game is actually fun, and I played it with my friends, and they found it fun. So, Brad, get a little more chipper, alright?
Yeah, it's I swear, it's not that, Jacob's just tying me to a chair and forcing me to play this game. It actually is pretty enjoyable.
Exactly. And the first 2 rounds, I picked games that had to do with the news doc this week, actually. The third round has a very specific theme that you'll figure out very easily.
I'm sensing a Star Wars theme somewhere in here. Round 1.
Persona 4 Golden, Dishonored, and The Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
Ooh. Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Persona. What was the first one? It was
Persona 4 Golden.
Persona 4 Golden. I am actually stumped. I don't even know how I would reason this. I know I like Binding of Isaac, and I remember doing pretty well when it came out. I know nothing about the Persona series other than the fact that it's probably, next to Final Fantasy, the largest JRPG in the West.
It's also probably the greatest thing ever.
That's what everybody seems to say about it, so I don't think that one is it. So it has to be the other one, which was
Dishonored.
But no, that one was good too.
Oh, stumped you.
Yeah. I don't like it when you pick 3 good games, and I can't make up some terrible logic as to which one's not good. I'm gonna go against my gut here, and I'm gonna go with Binding of Isaac. I have a feeling that one didn't do as well as I think it did.
You're right, Brad.
Oh, wow.
Can you tell me what The Binding of Isaac Rebirth was rated?
Probably an 82.
88.
That was close.
Yeah. Round 2.
Round 2.
Titanfall.
Ooh.
Star Wars The Force Unleashed. And Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Alright, so Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare wins by default. That's an amazing game. It's highest rated. So it's between Force Unleashed and the other one. I've already forgotten.
Titanfall?
Yes. My short-term memory is awful. I have the memory of a goldfish. But I think I'm going to go with Titanfall, because, I mean, I enjoyed it, but a lot of people were not very huge on it, especially after a few months. And
Brad, you're wrong.
Am I wrong, really?
Yeah, it's The Force Unleashed.
Aw, I'm sad.
Can you tell me what The Force Unleashed was rated?
75?
71.
Oh, okay, well...
Brad, you're getting so close today.
I am. It's always the worst.
The second highest rated was Titanfall with an 86, and the highest rated was Modern Warfare with a 92. I realized in the first round I didn't tell you what the highest rated ones were. So, Binding of Isaac was obviously the lowest. The second highest was Dishonored with a 91, and Persona 4 was the highest with a 93.
Wow, that's really high.
Yeah, so...
I'm genuinely surprised The Force Unleashed didn't do that well.
Yep. Round 3.
Round 3.
See if you can figure out the theme of this round. Uncharted Drake's Fortune, Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, and Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception.
Well, tough one.
These are Uncharted games in honor of the release of Uncharted 4 next Tuesday. Actually, no, we don't play well. That sucked on Tuesday. I was like, we should have just waited till Tuesday to play this.
Yeah,
but
maybe I'll do some Uncharted trivia for you on...
I'll kill it. I'll immediately destroy it.
Oh god, I don't know anything about the Uncharted series. I know they're all decent. They're all decent games. They're all
try all fantastic games.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem is they're all fantastic games, and I can't discern which one was less fantastic than the others because I haven't played enough of them. After you've talked about it on the show before. I know you have, and you rated them yourself. I'm trying to remember what you said. And it's not coming to me. Alright, I'm gonna go with... So what, it was the first, the second, and the third, right?
Yes.
Okay, so... I'm gonna probably say the first was probably the second best. The third was probably the best, which would make the second one the worst. I'm gonna go with that.
Brad.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Ah!
You got it in the wrong order. The second one's the best, the third one's the second best, and the first one is the worst.
Oh, really?
Even though the first is still a good game, obviously, but it's just...
People usually hold a special place for the first one, that's why I thought it'd be higher rated.
The second one is perfection.
Really?
Like, literally, I don't think I've ever played a game that's more perfect than Uncharted 2. Just in gameplay, story, presentation. And Uncharted 3... is just kind of more of that, and maybe that's why it's a little bit worse, because it just kind of continues on the greatness of Uncharted 2.
It's riding on the coattails?
Exactly, it's that sort of thing. But Uncharted 1 is like the first game, so it was kind of them getting their footing.
Yeah, I'll have to play more than an hour of each one, and then I would have been more prepared to answer that question.
Can you tell me what Uncharted 1 is rated?
Probably still pretty high, like 86.
88.
Oh, I get so close. That's the worst.
Yeah. The second highest rated was Uncharted 3 with a 92, and the highest rated was Uncharted 2 Among Thieves with a 96.
Wow, that's a really high game.
Yeah, you lost. I think it's the highest rated on PS... No, Last of Us might be.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
It's either that or The Last of Us the highest rated on PS3.
Let us hope that the fourth one can continue that legacy.
When I went on Metacritic earlier to get the list for all that sucked, it had a 94, so...
Oh, so it seems to be doing pretty well for itself.
Yeah. Why don't you read us the spiel?
Alright, so if you want to get in touch with us, talk about any of the things we talk about in this show, give us your own questions, comments, concerns, whatever it may be, you can do that at completewithdlc@gmail.com. We will take any and all questions you guys might have, and we'll be sure to answer them to the best of our ability. If you have a question for either one of us specifically, address it to us in either the subject line or the body of the email, and I will make sure that it gets to the correctly addressed person. If you're listening to this, you're probably listening to it on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or Google Play. I always have to remember to add in the new one. And if you are listening to us on one of those four, then please use whatever review service that they have available to you and give us a review, whether there be stars, check marks, comments, question, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, give us a review. So that way we know what we're doing, what we're not doing, what we should be doing, and what we should stop doing. We like to think we're moving in the right direction with the show, but we can never really be sure without you guys pointing us in the right direction. We are blind, and we need you to, sort of give us a stick or a dog or whatever it is that blind people use. And if you want to get the RSS feed hosted from the very source of where it's posted, then you're going to want to use SoundCloud specifically. But if you don't want to do that, and you just want to stay up to date with the happenings of the show, then you're going to want to head over to Twitter to do that. We are Complete with DLC on Twitter, and that is where Jacob puts all the information about new episodes that come up, or whether one of us is doing anything special, or when one of our many video game series is getting a new episode. Right now, ongoing, we have my Pokemon Platinum Nuzlocke, and Jacob just recently uploaded the Sky Fortress videos that we did for Just Cause, and I believe Friday, tomorrow, or today if you're listening to this, is the Slender finale.
The series finale to the saga of Slender the Arrival. There's a trailer up, so watch that too if you haven't yet, because I put a lot of work into the comedic timing of that video.
It was pretty funny, and unfortunately, it's the series finale to a game that was things I can't say in public.
What?
It was awful, it was terrible, and I want to say much worse things about that game, but I won't.
You just spoiled it for everybody.
That the game was bad, I think they know that, Jacob.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure they noticed that from all the other parts where we're not enthusiastic at all about playing it.
I think they learned that by part 2, that we wanted nothing to do with that game. But that is all the show's information. Jacob, if they want to get in touch with you specifically, they only want to talk to you and nothing to do with the show, where can they do that?
You can do that on Twitter, any social media really, at itsjgriff, ITSJOYGRIFF, most active on Twitter, and you can see what I think of Civil War this weekend.
Oh, that's right. I'm sensing a Complete with review coming up.
Ooh, I sense a Complete with review in the future too, because I already made the thumbnail for it.
Jacob's on the ball with this one.
Exactly. I'm on the ball with a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm on my ball. A little throwback to Tuesday's show. Yeah. Brad, where can they get in touch with you?
If you want to get in touch with me, you can do that on Twitter. I'm Kalgny on Twitter, Kalgne. If you don't trust my ability to use a social media site, then my hat's off to you. You're a very observant person. You are then going to want to use Battle.net, which is Blizzard's interactive hub for all their games. You and I can play some Overwatch together if you want to. Just get, talk to me before the 9th. And I am Brad, #1261 on Battle.net. If you do send me a friend request on Battle.net, as soon as I accept it, let me know that you're listening to the show so I can make a note accordingly and I don't accidentally delete you in 4 months when I forget who you were. Nothing personal, but as you've seen on the show, my memory sucks. But those are the best 2 ways to get in touch with me. Otherwise, like I said before, use the show email and direct it to either Jacob or myself, and it'll get to the right people. Jacob, that's the spiel.
That's the spiel. Music recommendation.
Alright, do you want to go first or me?
You go first, because I need to figure out what I'm going to recommend.
Okay, so this week I am recommending, for the second time this week, because we need to play catch-up, I'm recommending Tsuko G, Tsuko and he is a kazoo player on YouTube, actually. And, yeah, he does kazoo covers of a lot of things, and of course, like everybody else, he does Undertale covers, because when that game came out, every musical mind in the world did Undertale covers, because if nothing else, that game has fantastic music. But
right.
He does a lot of other things other than just Undertale. And I know it's kazoo. It's a little weird, but trust me, give it a try. You're going to love it. That's my recommendation for this week.
My recommendation is kind of a shameless self-promotion in a way, but it's not really meant to be that way.
Do you make music now?
Yeah, I do. No. If you guys use a Spotify account, which, who doesn't use Spotify nowadays? To listen to music, you should look up my account number. You can look up my account name. Can you guess what my account name is?
Probably it's JGriff.
It's JGriff, and just follow my playlist. Better playlist than Lorenzo's Work in Progress, because I'm currently trying to make a better playlist than my friend Lorenzo.
Jacob is a very competitive man. He'll make a contest out of just about anything.
Yeah, and so it's a work in progress because I'm not done adding music to it. But a lot of the music that I would recommend on the show is on there anyway. And I will go back to recommending regular music next week. But I just couldn't think of anything, and I went on Spotify to look at what to recommend anyway. But then I just saw this, so I said, hey, that's easier just to recommend that.
Yeah, so a lot of Jacob's personal favorites are on that playlist, I'm sure.
Yes, they are. And some more classics are going to be added later for all you people saying, this is a bunch of modern to 90s shit. I'll be like, yeah, just give it a little bit because I've made it really fast. There's already 123 songs in the playlist, though.
I don't think I even know 123 songs.
I know a lot of songs. I'm a very musical kind of guy.
Are you?
Yeah.
I would have never guessed.
But now that that's done, this has been Complete with DLC. I'm Jacob Griffin.
I'm Brad Knight.
And thank you for listening.